There's a new Fannie Mae advertisement in which President Donald Trump calls the government-sponsored institution otherwise known as the Federal National Mortgage Association, the largest company in the United States and the fifth largest company in the world, the
all-new Fannie Mae, protector of the American dream.
Now, is it weird as hell for the U.S. president to be in a commercial? Yeah, kinda. But he wouldn't be the first world leader to do so, and it wouldn't even be the first time he's done it. But yeah, it's kind of weird. But do you know what's even weirder? That isn't President Trump. And I'm not sure how much it matters that it isn't. This is Cognitive Security. I'm Rob Sussman. I run a blog on Substack called the Cognitive Security Blog. You should follow us at CogSecBlog. And back in October, I wrote an article entitled Ed Gain's New Suit, The Next Internet Age, in which I argued that the value of truth has completely collapsed into nothing. Reading. The AI age has kicked off a new era of truthlessness. Not insofar as lies reign, although they do, but that truth cannot even be discerned in a way that matters. Generative AI can make anyone anywhere say and do anything at any time. It can make any situation occur in a way realistic enough to where it doesn't matter that it isn't real. It was once said that a lie can make its way around the world before the truth even gets its shoes on, but that no longer applies in any way that's useful. By the time the truth gets its shoes on, we're already living out the third-order consequences of the initial lie, making the mere identification of truth an exercise in futility that nobody ought even bother with, as we have seen the effect it has, and that effect is none at all. Why would the truth even bother getting out of bed in the first place? Now, the thing that spurred this on wasn't President Trump in a Fannie Mae ad. No, it was boomers online getting rage-baited by the Daily Caller, who started habitually posting videos of AI-generated apoplectic left-wing protesters screaming fake nonsense at fake rallies. Look at this video, though. Again, this was posted by the Daily Caller.
Hey, fascists! If you want to deport my undocumented, non-binary lover, you are going to have to come through me first! Grrr.
Grrr. It doesn't actually take a lot of effort to come to the conclusion that this video is AI generated. Guy's shirt, nonsense. Word illegal on the sign behind him, misspelled. Other signs behind him, blank. His movements, awkward, too smooth for a real person. And then, of course, there is the Sora AI-generated watermark right there on the video itself. The amount of work required to determine that this video is AI is about as small as it gets. Now, let's check the comments section. Just because your hair is green doesn't make you the Hulk. We are all shaking in our boots right now. Look, another speed bump. Where's my Staples Easy button? No problem, Cupcake. Is he trolling? He has to be, right? This is hilarious on so many levels. Now, for those in my audience on the left who are raising their noses now to let out a nice sneer at the illiterate MAGA rednecks, please put the chin down for a second. Just watch this. Something massive is brewing in late-night television. Colbert, Kimmel, and Fallon, normally fierce competitors, are forming one unified project that insiders call the Freedom Show. No filters, no safe zones, no corporate-approved humor. The networks are joining forces for the first time, and the entertainment world is buzzing. What pushed them to cross this line? Who stands to lose the most? And why does 2026 keep appearing in confidential memos? This could be the moment everything changes. For those who have no idea who the hell these guys are America's three biggest late-night talk show hosts. And it isn't controversial to say that all three of them pretty furiously hate the current administration and are seen pretty broadly as the three liberal stalwarts carrying the flame for, like, establishment Democratic Party politics in the United States. And of course, this freedom show, it isn't real. Let's take a look at the comments. The dream team of late-night comedy! It'll definitely get 100 times better ratings than Fox News. The bravest men in America! What channel? Because you know when it's announced and starting, Lardass is gonna call a press conference to interrupt it. Should be a great show, and no way should Trump be allowed to interfere. We as Americans have a right to voice our opinions. That is a right, and it is a right of these men too. That doesn't look like Kimmel and looks like a very young Fallon. Shouldn't have used AI for the advertising. I'm excited for them all. Can't wait. You were so damn close. So close! Now, some of the comments on both of these posts could themselves be the product of fake spam bots. That is very possible. But are all of them? I think we know that they aren't. We know they aren't because we know people in real life who are sharing this sort of content unironically, like your aunt. We know it's happening enough because your grandma keeps sharing AI-generated crap. Now, before you start commenting, yes, well, my political side doesn't fall for it as much as the other, you're not just wrong, the point has eluded you entirely. Everyone is falling for this. It matters. And they overestimate their ability to detect AI-generated nonsense, even if they otherwise believe themselves capable. And you may say, but Rob, all we have to do is teach people how to identify AI images. You can't. We can't. We may think we can, but the truth is, you and I are probably falling for AI nonsense right now. The effort required to determine whether or not an image is fake is almost definitely outweighed by the value of knowing whether or not it is. Who cares if you figured out that the screaming lib is AI generated? For every you that figures it out, 5 people don't, and those people will go about their lives knowing that this happened. And the consequence of them doing so? Extremely minimal, yet also unfathomably devastating. The thing is, to go back to the Daily Caller guy, this sort of insane, screaming left-wing protester acting insane in public shtick is real. It's something that has actually happened before. There are genuinely hours of video that you can watch online where ridiculous-looking people shout ridiculous-sounding things at cameras. Going back to the Fannie Mae thing, it isn't as though President Trump hasn't appeared in commercials before, and it isn't as though he doesn't actively root for the continued solvency of a government-operated mortgage company. It's just that he never actually said anything in the commercial. Earlier this month, an activist got arrested for organizing a disruption at a Minneapolis church service over immigration raids after a pastor was accused of working with American Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Kristi Noem, the head of the Department of Homeland Security, posted an image of this woman, Nikema Levy Armstrong, getting arrested by federal officers. Hours later, the White House posted a similar image, but with Armstrong's face altered by AI to look like she was screaming and crying while getting arrested. Now, this is the part where it starts to become extremely hostile to your cognitive security. Here we are talking about an event that occurred, the arrest of Nikema Levy Armstrong, and the White House taking the real event and adding just a little change to it, just a tiny alteration in what actually happened, and then posting it as real. It isn't so substantially different than reality in a way that really matters. She did get arrested, and it was by federal officers. She just didn't look like that when she did. You can accuse them of lying, but it isn't really a word that lands because the event did actually happen. Here's another big example from this past weekend. This was posted by the former commander of U.S. Special Operations Command. We've all seen a picture like this, right? From Minneapolis. That happened, right? Did it? It's fake. It's an AI alter. That guy doesn't have a face. It's been replaced by a hand. That guy isn't a guy at all. This isn't what happened in Minneapolis. This isn't the truth. Everyone in Minneapolis had a head. What this is an incremental cartoonification of reality, in which details both minuscule and otherwise are warped in order to change the perception of reality itself. And frankly, we are not ready for it. The thing is, we want to believe this stuff. We want to believe our worldview is correct, and we are biased towards the things that tell us that it is. If you love corporate schlock comedians sneering about MAGA for an hour each night, then you want to believe that they are going to team up for the Freedom Show in 2026 and finally stick it to the bad orange man. If you hate skinny, green-haired, latte-sipping pansexual urbanites who voted for Kamala Harris, then you want to see them act ridiculous in front of cameras, and you will believe it when they show it to you, even if you dismiss it as AI slop. Will the mere presence of something being AI generated change your opinion on the subject as a whole? Of course it won't. You knowing it's fake concerns nobody. It didn't stop it from being posted. It isn't stopping anyone from believing it. The mere identification of truth is an exercise in futility that nobody ought even bother with, as we have seen the effect it has, and the effect is none at all. Why would the truth even bother getting out of bed in the first place? This is Cognitive Security. I'm Rob Sussman. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you liked the video. I'll see you next time.